I'm back. Yeah. Oof. Okay. I look like shit. Sorry about that. I don't know why I keep deciding to make these when I look like shit. And it, like, actually bothers me because, like, oh, you know, it's whatever. Who cares? I do. But, like, whatever. Okay, yeah. I do not have time for a long-ass intro today because this video might reach, like, the 20-minute mark or close to that, I'm thinking, possibly. And that, like, kind of scares me because that's, like, real YouTuber territory there. Like, I went from, like, being a dumbass in my room at 4 a.m. to, like, making 20-minute whole-ass videos. Like, evolution. But, yeah. If, for whatever reason, you did not read the title, this is gonna be another story time because, like, that's my thing now. But this one's kind of special because it's not just, like, one story. I'm going to be telling 3 stories, and they all have a common theme. They're all embarrassing as fuck. You know when you're, like, laying there in bed and you're just, like, thinking about whatnot, and then you all of a sudden remember a time from, like, 2011 when you said or did something that just makes you want to build a time machine to go back and punch your past self in the face? Well, basically, I'm going to be taking those thoughts and putting them into this story time, so enjoy. Yeah, I think that's basically all I have to say. So without further ado, let's get into me wrecking my dignity even more. Alright, I think I want to, like, do these in chronological order, because, yeah, I guess evolution. Alright, so this first story takes place when I was in 3rd grade, which would have made me, like, 9 years old. So in elementary school, obviously, you know, like, recess was a thing, but sometimes it would rain or it would snow or it'd, like, be too cold and you'd have to stay inside and do this thing called, like, indoor recess, which is where all the kids would just, like, stay in their classroom and, like, play board games or, like, do whatever. So it was one of those days and everyone was inside and most of the people were just, like, sitting on the ground playing board games or, like, doing stuff like that. So me and 2 of my friends were sitting on the ground, and then there's, like, this little group of boys over, like, a few feet away from us. So all the boys are, like, laughing about something, and one of my friends goes, "Hey, Jetta, you should pull up your pants." That sounded bitchy for some reason, but, like, they're, like, being nice, like, pull up your pants, girl. What the fuck was... So they, like, my friend told me, like, pull up your pants, right? And I was like, what? So, like, I pulled up my pants, because, like, we were sitting on the ground or whatever, you know? So I, like, pulled up my fucking pants, dude. And I find out the boys were laughing because they could see my underwear. Like, obviously we were in 3rd grade and, like, immature as fuck, so that was, like, really funny to them. But, like, normally, someone would just, like, pull up their pants and be like, okay, whatever. Me being the psycho-ass 9-year-old bitch that I was, like, this was, like, life-shattering to me. Like, they saw my underwear. So I just burst out in tears, started screaming and crying and, like, thrashing all over the floor. My teacher was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Like, she thought I was fucking injured or something. Just screaming and crying, right? I run out of the classroom. I run into the bathroom. I start screaming and crying in the bathroom. As I'm, like, screaming and crying and throwing a hissy fit in the bathroom, this teacher comes in. Her name was Miss Gussie, and I held a grudge against her for the longest time for this. Basically, she's like, this isn't the place to be crying. If you have a problem, go let your teacher know. Me having a fucking sister mental breakdown over here, like, that just made everything worse. I was like, she's telling me that I can't cry. Like, I storm out of the bathroom now. I fucking go back into my classroom. I, like, throw myself on the floor. And keep in mind, yeah, like, this was when I was, like, 9. But, like, and that's still pretty young. But, like, I was 9. Like, that is not, like, a 4-year-old in 4K throwing a temper tantrum. Like, that is a full-ass 3rd grader. Like, almost a 10-year-old screaming and crying and thrashing on the ground because somebody said they could see their underwear. Yeah, basically I held a grudge against that kid for the longest time too. And everyone was wondering, like, after that, like, I kind of, like, had my little crying sesh on the floor. And then I, like, just when I was done, I, like, got up and acted like nothing really happened, and, like, I didn't want to talk about it, and, like, everyone was curious, obviously, and I was just like, oh, nothing, it's fine, it's whatever. Bitch, what do you mean, it's whatever? Like, I just watched you roll around on the ground like a 3-year-old in Toys R Us. You know, I never really remember the situation, like, after it happened, being, like, a big thing people really talked about. Probably because they knew I had fucking issues and they're probably scared I was gonna prison shank them or something. But, like, literally 2 weeks after this happened, everyone just acted like that didn't happen. Like, if you went to my school and if you're in my class in 3rd grade, you probably remember that. And I don't know a lot of people that watch this channel that were in my 3rd grade class, but, like, if you were, like, you fucking remember that. That was wild. So, yeah, I think that about does it for the first story. Time to move on to number 2. So, this happened summer before 5th grade, I want to say. Me and a couple of my friends, they weren't, like, friends from school. It was these people that lived down the street from me. They moved or whatever, but that's besides the point. So, we were all taking a trip to Mount Olympus with my friend's family. And it was going to be, like, really fun and fresh, and I was super excited. It mostly went well. It was just this incident that just, like, kind of put a whole negative foreshadowing on the whole trip for me. So, yeah, I'm not going to bore you with, like, background information anymore. Basically, the wave pool at Mount Olympus. If you've ever been there, if you don't know what Mount Olympus is, it's, like a water theme park sort of thing, yeah? And there's a wave pool. So, I was in there with my friend, and I had these bikini bottoms that, like, tied, like, dead-ass tied, like a string. Like, you would, like, tie them here and here, like, on your hips, and, like, you could untie them, and they'd, like, come off. So I'm sure you probably can imagine where this is going. Basically, a huge wave hit, like, we all went under, and at first I didn't even realize, but, like, once I stood back up, I realized my fucking bottoms were gone. I was dead ass standing in a wave pool, like, naked. Like, my bottoms were gone. And I was standing there with a fucking bunch of people around. Like, I feel like that's something that happens to so many people. Like, my bottoms fell off when I was swimming, and, like, my top fell off. But, like, you do not understand how fucking embarrassing that is until it happens to you, especially when it's at Mount Olympus in the middle of July with, like, 40 people all around you. I started crying, obviously. I probably would have done the same if that happened now, to be honest. And my friend, she got my bottoms back. She, like, fucking was on a mission impossible to get my bottoms. Like, they were far too, and I, like, just, like, huddled up in a ball. It's fucking, oh god, I can't. But yeah, basically, I got my bottoms back. I put them back on. I was still, like, crying. We went back to, like, the little hut thing where the rest of the group was. I did not go on any more, like, water shit the rest of the day. I was like, fuck that. Like, first of all, I don't want to possibly see anyone that was there. I don't want to risk that happening again. Like, I'm just gonna stay to my roller coasters and shit and act like that didn't happen. So, yeah. The finale. I have never, like, really told anyone this story. I don't actually think I've, like, ever really told anyone any of these stories unless you were, like, there and witnessed it. Like, this story that I'm about to tell, like, I was not planning on telling anyone for a while. I was not planning on even including it in this video because it's, like, that bad. And, like, it's still, like, the other two I feel like were long enough ago that it, like, doesn't really bother me anymore. It's, like, whatever. Like, I was 9, I was, like, 10. It's, like, in the past. Not only is it, like, triple as embarrassing as the last two combined, it was, like, kind of recent. So, this story takes place the end of 6th grade. So, I was, like, 12. And that's what I mean by it was not that long ago. Like, a little over a year ago was when this happened. So, basically, some of my friends, they were at this park over here, and they texted me. They were like, you should come hang out. And I was like, okay. So, my brother had to come along. He is the biggest reason why this story is so fucking embarrassing. So, it was like me, there's like a decent amount of people there, probably between like 10 to 15. It was me, like some girls, and some boys, including the guy that I liked at the time. So back in like 5th, 6th grade, you know, like that whole lava game was a big thing, or at least at my school it was. So we were playing lava and just like having a good old jolly time, you know. And that's when things went to shit. Me being the prepubescent 6th grader that I was, I just had to get my first period while hanging out with about 10 people, including the boy that I liked. So if that just doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what does. I fucking got my first period while hanging out with my crush. Sis. Like, I'm sorry if that grosses anyone out, because it kind of grosses me out, like, talking about periods and stuff. But, like, it happened, and that's, like, the biggest reason why I didn't want to even say this one, because, like, yeah, the other two are embarrassing, but, like, this is just straight up, like, gross. It's like, sorry if I scarred your virgin ears, like, get over it. Now, that's not even the worst part. Well, obviously, I, like, leaked through, like, there was blood, and my little brother didn't really understand what a period was, so he started screaming, "Jetta shit herself." I can't. Dead ass screaming and pointing, saying, "I shit myself," in front of like 10 people. Was out of there. I just started like fucking biking home. I was like, screw this. I don't even remember if I cried or not. I might have been dead enough inside at that point in my life to not cry. Oof, harsh realities. Anyway, so yeah, long story short, my brother went around to like a lot of people and told them the story of how his sister shit herself. Shit herself. Oh, I can't. I can't. Yeah, that about does it for this video. And I'm low-key right now, like, debating if I want to edit and upload this, because the last one, like, I don't know if I want that to get out there yet. Yeah, I'm, like, decently far into the 8th grade, and, like, that was, like, around the end of 6th grade. Like, it was kind of a while ago, but still, I don't know, I might just say fuck it, because it's content. So, thank you for watching to the end of this video and sitting through that really fucking crazy roller coaster of a video and that really disgusting story at the end. I appreciate you, and yeah, I love you the mostest. Bye!